Light Angel, hello. Hello, everyone. This is Marwan Tomodachi.
All of our generational curses. We have gotten rid of all of our weaknesses. As you can see, our team is very solid and tight.
Oh,
We do not want to build without first destroying our own generational curses,
I see.
using divine knowledge of self and wisdom from the most honorable prophet, Eliyahu the Christ.
Most honorable.
We did not want to bring drama to mama.
No drama to
So
mama.
now, we are ready. And we choose Africa.
Oh,
We are ready to build a village in harmony
build
and
a
in tune with
village
nature,
in tune.
as well as growing food,
Growing food.
all with the culture, with divine knowledge of self.
Oh,
Anybody in Africa,
anybody in Africa.
resources, who is willing to build with us.
Oh,
The time is now, for we are open to receive
oh, really? They're
all
open
of
to
our
receive.
generational curses.
Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Or maybe you heard it a while ago. Maybe you saw it on IG, a look of, I guess, fake love. I don't know what look of love that was going on there on IG at CarbonNation. But, ladies and gentlemen, you may have heard that this LGBT spiritual group has decided to take their talents to Africa. And I'm hoping that they know Africa is not a country. I'm hoping that they know Africa is not monolithic. I'm hoping that they know, and you never know, judging on the different images they put up to represent Africa. I hope that they know Africa is more than giraffes, zebras, and lions. Oh my. I saw a video of Nature Boy explaining to Mama Willow, fairy nature girl, whatever, that he started playing African music now. And a tear came down his eye because he couldn't help but have such, you know, emotional feelings for Mama Africa. Now, you heard it from Nubian himself, a guy and men in carbonation who look like, you know, gay Kodak Black with that haircut they got. You heard it from them that they are now ready for Mama Africa. Carbonation is now ready to visit Mama Africa. First of all, who makes a video like this? Who makes a video ahead of time to Africa as if Africa got a page on YouTube or Instagram, as if Africa is just listening. He's not contacting any radio stations in Africa anywhere. Who makes a video that they're coming somewhere? That's mistake number one. You stupid idiot. You got Nature Boy looking like a plumb fool with his feathers and his gay escort gear, with his homosexual dudes in the back and their little haircut. I don't know what that's about. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. And again, I want you all to remember, anything that looks or sounds like a troll in the chat, please ignore it. With that said, I want to say hello to the fit goddess, looking good in that profile picture. Shouty, Aquarius baby. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all, please, for pressing that like button as we get back into this nature boy, this dude who treats spirituality like a dollar store. You know, you can just come in and get what you want, But I find it very hilarious, ladies and gentlemen, that Nature Boy and them are deciding to go to Africa and that they're stupid enough to do this presentation with, I guess, is that Isaac Hayes in the background? The look of love in their eyes. A message to Africa. So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, I decided I was going to make my own video. of Africa responding to them. And I'm going to do that as you look at this picture of this group of individual weirdos now interested in going to Africa to take their talents to the motherland. And they address this video to Mama Africa. So Mama Africa will have to respond. Hold on. All these motherfuckers is going to die nasty. That's all. That's how that goes. They all going to die nasty. Okay, so let's talk about it, and we'll get into the LGBTQ rights and all that first. But this is Mama Africa responding. Oh, what is this information? Oh, what is this information we are getting over the airwaves? We are receiving messages from people in Babylon, in the West, telling me, Mama Africa, that they will be coming to my continent so that they can, what did they tell me? They had generational curses that they've already figured out and solved. The problem, the major problem for CarbonNation and this individual here, this guy, he does not know that Mama Africa sees everything. Mama Africa is omniscient. Mama Africa is omnipresent. Mama Africa sees everything. We have communication with all of our children around the world, especially children where most of our children live, the dark children. We have children all over South Africa, all over South America. But we have one problem. We cannot really have such nastiness in our continent. It is bad enough we already think that Americans are our lost brothers and sisters. We look at Americans as our lost brothers and sisters. But we know sometimes we may be incorrect, and we must judge our American sisters and brothers each by each, case by case. And in this case, we don't know any African man that will respect this situation here. We have men, what is this haircut? This haircut cannot be oh, well, maybe it is African. Are those what they call Buntu nuts? I don't know. This man right here, he looks very, very suspect. Very suspect. All the men look suspect. And as you must understand, we have a culture here. We see you had your Barack Obama. Yes, he says he's from Kenya, but we think he's been much too influenced by the Western world. Obama in Africa is known as the man who wants to get us gay. Obama Barack Barry, he is the man who we Africans understand as the very first leader of America that would like to get us gay. We saw him go to Jamaica. He wants Jamaica gay. We saw him come everywhere. Zimbabwe. Even Zimbabwe. He tried to come here and change our culture to gay. That is a major problem. When you try to condition your support to us becoming gay like your country. You would like us to go to be gay like your country. But we have our own culture. We have our own situation. And we have seen what this nasty cult has done around the world. We saw him send an email to one of our people in Belize. He sends an email to Kwatamana, who runs his own compound there. He sent an email, warning Kwatamana that they will be coming to Belize and that they would like to join Kwatamana and his group of people. Kwatamana refused. Kwatamana even posted the email online for everyone to see. Everyone saw this nasty man sending Kwatamana an email asking for his CarbonNation to join Kwatamana. But Kwatamana himself, who has studied here in Africa, Kwatamana himself, who has visited Africa, He rejected everything about this nasty man. He did not want this nasty man coming to his compound. In fact, Quatamana himself is a very intelligent man. He is so intelligent, I am aware, I, Mama Africa, am aware that Quatamana sent an email to Mind Over Matter to Mr. Marwan Tomodachi asking him if he would like to visit Quatamana. Quatamana never sent that email to Nature Boy because he saw Nature Boy had problem, that Nature Boy has never solved generational curses. If that is true, how did he get kicked out of Costa Rica? Why did he get kicked out of Costa Rica? Was it his generational curses that kept him from renewing his passport? We have many Africans traveling all over the world. Nigerians especially are known all over the world as travelers. We understand the importance of renewing our passport. What is this nonsense? This is an LGBT community that may not get acceptance anywhere in Africa. We see your track record, Eligio. We see you have never mentioned Africa before, Mr. CarbonNation. We remember when you were on Sanetta trying to explain your plight and where you are going. Sanetta himself told you, Nature Boy, that you are a man, that you should never call yourself a boy, Nature Boy. Sanetta himself asked you, why aren't you going to Africa? And you gave a very weird response. And now you claim to be ready for Africa after 10 years of being a homosexual prostitute, a gay escort, the type of man who will do many, many things that are strange for many, many change. This is unfortunate, but we do have areas of Africa where you may feel comfortable, like South Africa, maybe, but even there, sir, you will be running for your life. Many people have already seen your videos. Many people have already heard your message. And some of it may actually work here in Africa. As you know, there are places in Africa that believe you can get rid of AIDS so long as you have sex with a virgin girl. There are people in Africa that believe you can get rid of HIV so long as you have sex with virgin girl. And we are aware that this CarbonNation bullshit, this cult, these people are so strange that some of them believe that if you have the herpes, if you have the HIV, it is all in your mind, and it is because it is your frequency, it is your problem. We believe this is white man thinking. What is his name? Bruce Lipton? Not even original thinking of this man. And now he wants to come to Africa. He thinks he is ready for Africa after 10 years of being a gay escort. He has proven he is not ready for Costa Rica. He has proven he was not ready for Mexico. He has proven he was not ready for Belize. Proven he could not handle responsibility in United States. And now he's coming maybe to Africa, the continent. Oh, we have many problem. We have many problem with this one. We know also he has a gay pornography. We know also he may be coming here to spread his gay pornography. Was gay pornography, sir, also a generational curse? We never remember you saying anything about this one. If your gay escort life, your gay stripper life, was that generational curses? Him have many explaining to do. And maybe it's not going to work, y'all, but look, let me read this article that I found in about a situation in Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Because this guy is actually thinking about moving to Africa, and he's sort of trying to paint it as if they've been working on themselves this whole time. trying to get to Africa. He's never played African music. He's never talked about Africa, really. He claims that his group is actually a mix between Rastafarians and five percenters. You know, we understand that he used to call himself Father Tahuti, and that has an African sort of vibe. That has an African sort of vibe, but we also know that he was Father Tahuti, loose booty on duty, which overshadows everything else he's attempting to do. And now he thinks, after Barack Obama's to America, this is not going to happen. I don't think so. It's not going to be very fun for him. They all are aware of Nature Boy already. They are all, they all know that this dude is allegedly accused of pedophilia. They don't want any accusations of pedophilia coming into their land. They know he's been kicked out and thrown in jail. Was that a generational curse? Being thrown in jail? Are your wives leaving? Are those generational curses? Well, that's good, y'all. About 50 people, mostly men, crowd around the front porch of a social club in Nigeria's biggest city, Lagos, cheering on a shy looking young man who proceeds to sing a ballad. Backstage, another man puts on his wig and takes a quick glance at his pocket mirror before adjusting his tight fitting red dress. Thanks for stopping by, Melanated. Thanks for stopping by, Awareness Awakening. Drive safely. Don't forget your seatbelt, lady. Five other men, also dressed in drag outfits, appear, checking on each other's makeup as they wait for their turn to perform for the crowd. A friend invited me here a few months ago, one chatty spectator says excitedly. I love this place because it makes me feel at home. This gathering of members of the gay and lesbian community in Lagos is held regularly, albeit discreetly, but it could soon be illegal. The vast majority of gay Nigerians may not be interested in this kind of event, but they still have to hide their sexuality in this conservative society. Whilst already illegal, homosexuality is widely frowned upon across Nigeria, and it has been the subject of several bills in the National Assembly. The same-sex marriage prohibition bill specifically outlaws same-sex unions. It also bans gatherings of homosexuals or any other support for gay clubs, organizations, unions, or amorous expressions, whether in secret or in public. Repulsive. The bill has been passed by Nigeria's Senate, the highest chamber, and is now being reviewed by the lower chamber. If approved, it will be sent to the president to sign it into law, after which same-sex couples could face up to 14 years in prison. Wow. So some people can relate to Nature Boy at least, but let's listen to here. They don't want to be identified. It's that bad. Nature Boy may be banned from going online or something in Nigeria. Well, we don't know where he's
I'll
going.
never forget our family trip to India with Emirates. It
Pardon
wasn't
the
our first
ads,
time there,
y'all,
it
but I
was
find
our
it
first
interesting
time.
that this
The
guy,
wonders of it, starting with the warmest welcome that made us all feel at home.
yeah,
My
I
brother,
think the
it was my
dislikes, if
nephew's
there
first
are
time
any,
finding a
are
friend
by
from
accident.
30,000 feet in the air.
All dislikes will
Nigerian
disappear.
society is culturally diverse, but also very conservative and deeply rooted in religion. So it's no surprise that the proposed bill banning same-sex marriage has received widespread support. This has infuriated the gay community, who already feel marginalized. The Nigerian bill is so centered on marriage. Now, who is advocating for marriage? All we are asking for is repeal repressive and discriminatory laws in the country so that people, are free, so that people are able to access, sexual health services, HIV prevention services, and if they're HIV positive, they're able to, access treatment services in the totality of who they are without, this stigma and discrimination. We've been told there's a secret meeting
Wow.
going on of some members of the.
So one thing that we have to understand, and maybe we should consider this, when Nature Boy was in Costa Rica, This was when he was just starting out as a guru or a fake guru that was a gay escort for 10 years just before that. It seemed as if he was out actually, at least on that bus in Costa Rica, he was the kind of guy that's willing to fight for the right to pass through borders without having to stamp a passport. We thought that that's the cause that carbonation was going to take up. We thought, stay off grid, no passports necessary. This is messaging from Nature Boy. And he was willing to die on that bus. We thought that was going to be his legacy. But he punked out. He bitched out. He bent over, dropped down, and got his eagle on as the cops beat up his homeboy, Olmec, and his wives. Now, maybe on the low, Nature Boy's not telling us this, but maybe Nature Boy's actual purpose for going over to Africa is to civilize Africa, maybe to homosexualize Africa, maybe to be that LGBT warrior fighting for the rights, fighting for health advocacy, fighting for regulation of sex workers. Maybe they're going to take on that. But I doubt they would bother to go all the way to Africa to do that, and they would not survive too long, ladies and gentlemen. They would not survive. I don't have to sit here and talk about whether or not homosexuality is good, bad, illegal, legal, some type of stuff that's going to get you killed. I'm a straight man. This means I don't know anything about gayness. And for me, I don't accept it in my life or in anywhere because that's not what I do. What you do is up to you, and you deal with the consequences, however painful or good they feel. So, ladies and gentlemen, please understand this dude is probably going to start acting African. He's probably going to try to start learning some African languages. I saw Immortal, I don't know her name is, but I think one of those sisters was speaking Dutch, right? Immortal someone was speaking Dutch out there, y'all. She was speaking Dutch out there. And I think it's Immortal Zion.
Wij zitten in een generatievloek die wij niet moeten bestendigen. Maar de meeste van ons willen deze generatievloek bestendigen omdat we comfortabel zijn. Door het systeem dat ons support.
See? So interesting because a lot of black folks, once they start speaking European languages, man, they really feel free. They really feel on top of the game, in Africa, wherever. I had a brother from the Caribbean that told me his people in the Caribbean judged each other by how closely to king or queen's English they can sound. And here is this young lady waxing poetic, speaking that Dutch shit, the type of Dutch that is spoken in South Africa. Again, the area that seems to be the most Nature Boy friendly, the most LGBTQ friendly, which is still not saying much. Which is still not saying much, you know? So Mama Africa has responded. You all heard her speak. She mentioned my name. Mama Africa mentioned my name, and Mama Africa broke down some of the obstacles that these people may be facing as they head to Africa, claiming, see this picture in the back? This is Africa to them. This is Africa to them. It's the shape of the continent, which is sort of resembles a heart. And this is Africa to them. Nature, right? Probably. Nature, giraffes, elephants. That's Africa to them. They're going to go over there totally surprised that human beings are there walking on 2 feet, and that there are cities, and that there are very rich people. I mean, look, you already have crooked prophets, crooked pastors out there in Africa who give some of their congregants their own semen to drink, who dance on their back and act like that's going to save some of their lifelong afflictions. You have plenty of prophets in Africa and churches in Africa where people are lying, where it's all a scam. So to the extent you all think Nature Boy is a scam, he's going to fit right in with the scammers of Africa who do not have the people's best interest at heart. So I find it very interesting, ladies and gentlemen. There was also a moment where they were actually thinking about going to Jamaica, right? Thinking about going to Jamaica. And I made a video about that. I made a video in Spanish, uh, acting as if I was the voice of Costa Rica right here on my channel. And I was kicking them out. I was saying, adios, amigo. You don't deserve to be here in nature. Mama Nature, which runs Mama Africa, is what kicked out Nature Boy from Costa Rica. And Sat 12 is correct. They may live in the countryside, isolated from everybody, just like you have those Mormons in Mexico, isolated from the cartels. But the cartels ended up finding them and creating big problems. And we got a message from Chris AIK here in the chat who says, I am from Nigeria. They don't know the new Africa. Nature Boy will not last a week in Africa. There are no rules and regulations over there. Jungle justice rules. And we all got a whiff of that. We all got a little bit of that when he was thrown in jail in Nicaragua. We got a whiff of that, the way they were just rounded up in Costa Rica. Just quick, fast, in a hurry, real easy. Nobody looking out for them. It's the same way out there in the isolated areas of Mexico where you got that Mormon compound where that Mormon family was just killed. They were isolated. They were crazy isolated. But the cartels found them. And you all know as well as I do, if certain people in certain parts of Africa found out that a Nature Boy was coming to their country and living in their country, it's going to be worse than Belize. I mean, there was rumors that people in Belize had heard that Nature Boy was a pedophile. This is the reason why Nature Boy was kicked out of an establishment run by a sister in Belize. They saw him walk in. Her daughter, the owner's daughter, saw Nature Boy walk in. And they kicked Nature Boy out on the strength of his reputation and all that flows from it online. So if that's what happened to Belize, please understand Belize is just a small microcosm of what may happen on a bigger scale wherever he goes in Afrika. And that's what's important to understand, y'all. That's what's important to understand. You know? That's what's important to understand. So I applaud anyone's decision to go to Africa. I myself spent 3 months straight there, and I would like to go back. There is a certain energy in Africa. But Nature Boy is going to do what? He's going to try to look African. He's going to go back and watch videos of Shaka Zulu. And I don't think they had feathers. This dude looks like a white Indian chief, white American Indian chief with those feathers. But now he's going to try to look tribal. He's going to start painting his face a little bit more. He's going to try to look like he's Shaka Zulu. I mean, this is so simple. The type of guy who's literally a leech, leeches on to everybody's external everything. Whatever you're about, it's just going to be another way to cover who he really is, which is what? A demon in disguise. A demon in disguise. Headed to Africa, coming to Africa, right? That's almost another, that's not quite a sequel, but it's another version of Coming to America. Nature Boy probably thinks that Africa is the home of polygamy. This type of dummy probably thinks all of Africa practice polygamy, so he's going to be all right. What an idiot. But listen, let idiots be idiots all day. This is how we have our fun as we observe the idiots along the way. Idiots whose ego outshines and covers up their own ignorance. And it is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. People in New York who have a computer and are the curious type probably have heard of Nature Boy, probably know Nature Boy. But if all he thinks Africa is just a tropical look and where you can walk around naked, right? They still probably think that you could walk around and just look tribal. You know, they're going to see through it from day one. And they don't even know who they are. One day they're Father Tahuti, loose booty on duty. Well, he's always that. But one day he's Christ. The next day he's a 5%er mixed with Rasta. And the next day he's Buddha talking about detach yourself, yo. So it makes you wonder, Wagwan. It makes you wonder what's happening. Again, you have to celebrate if you want. Give them an applause for their intention, their good intent. But as we've said, as we've heard since we've been growing up, path to hell is paved with good intentions. And sometimes Africa is going to be the stage. Now, will he be doing recruiting in Africa, right? Because he's going to get fewer and fewer people leaving USA to come all the way to Africa. So now, is he going to be recruiting, or should we say preying on young people in Africa now? Are those people going to be leaving their homes, leaving their tribal attachments to come mess with an honorable nature boy who dishonors everything about manhood, and honorable nature boy who dishonors everything about a spiritual journey? But soon they will find out, yeah, that Africa has Wi-Fi, Africa has cities, and you can actually take showers, right? We already know they were running away from the difficulty in actually being in nature the way they claimed when they first started, that they wanted to be in nature. They couldn't even be in nature in Mexico. They're not going to be out in no nature in any country of Africa. They're going to look for comfort as always. They're going to look for comfort as always. But hopefully they will look at the specific African country that they're visiting, and hopefully they will study as much as they can about the place, and hopefully they will look carefully and do their own due diligence with respect to whomever is out there bringing them on their land, right? Because the next thing you know, they may be fodder for people that just might, see them as the perfect bodies to sacrifice, might see them as the perfect bodies to do these things, especially if they go against the grain of their own culture. And one thing we know for sure about Nature Boy, has he gone against the grain of everything. You know? I don't know. I don't know if Nature Boy is going to be wearing a North American Indian headdress in Africa. He probably doesn't even know that what he is wearing is a North American Indian headdress. He probably thinks it all came from Africa. This is the dumbest guru out here. This is the guru with the biggest ego and the least contributions to spirituality. This is a man who makes all types of mistakes, bloopers, blunders, and he calls it God. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please press the like button as we see that Nature Boy may be eaten alive out there in Africa by wild, animals that look like a mix between a dog and a lion. They may be caught up with all types of shit, and they may bump into dudes that don't play with anything that looks the way Nature Boy looks, right? Right? So I want you all to just pay attention. We see what Nature Boy is all about. We see what he's doing. We see what he's up to. And I just wanted to leave this message, and I wanted to make sure you all heard what Mama Africa had to say as Mama Africa responded in this video earlier. Please press replay and hear the concerns of Mama Africa herself. Hear what Mama Africa has learned or knows already about this LGBT cult doing things the LGBTQ way. And we're not here to judge either way, but we do see that Africa don't play that. And Nature Boy's reputation will precede him. And as he goes over there looking for brotherhood, looking for some spiritual oneness, looking for, I guess, I don't know, the Garden of Eden scene where all you got is the tree. He's in for a rude awakening, a wake up call. That it's not going to be all welcome home, brother. They're talking about they ready to return to Africa. Nature Boy don't know nothing about even having been in Africa, talking about returning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd love to see how this goes. I hope they go to Africa because coming back is going to be very, very difficult if they get into any kinds of drama. Yeah, Malawi. I mean, look, I know a brother from Uganda. He made it here in the United States and they gave him asylum. He was actually trying to save people's lives in Uganda because he saw with his own eyes that people were actually kidnapping other human beings and selling them. Human organ harvesting, kidnapping. There's all types of business going on there. And that is another place where your skin don't matter. Just because you got brown skin over there, it is what it is. They aren't over there celebrating melanin. They aren't over there talking about melanated peoples. They just walk that shit. They're not over there bragging about their melanin. Who does that? They're not over there talking about melanin on fleek, melanin popping. Okay? These people over there, some places, trying to eat, in other places, eating more than everybody else. So Nature Boy will go over there with his American behind and his American material, his American technology, or maybe they'll leave all that here. But next thing you know, they're going to be bumping into all types of people who sees Nature Boy and CarbonNation as what? Food. You're going to be bumping into people all over Africa that's going to be looking at Nature Boy and CarbonNation as if they are food. People to be scammed, people to be used even. Okay? Africa, for the most part, has been colonized, and there's a neo-colonization going on there. And like I said before, Barack Obama tried to colonize it, the continent in gay ways. He tried going around telling people that they should go ahead and get gay. That's what he tried to tell Africa. And we know Nature Boy probably thinks we're all at some point gay. Nature Boy is on record bragging on Sonetta, whose channel reaches Africa. Nature Boy is on record bragging on Sonetta's channel that there is a pleasure spot in the butthole. Now, come on, you telling me they haven't seen a Nature Boy over there? He's been a black guy, not black guy, but a black eye of black America, even though he's Haitian and Dominican. Jamaican girl says, think about it though. Nature Boy stays in his Airbnb and doesn't associate with the citizens except the grocery stores. Which is a great point, Jamaican girl, because Nature Boy is all about the surface. Nature Boy is all about superficial things. Nature Boy is all about the scenery, the imagery, and not about human things. Nature Boy is all about the backdrop and, of course, dropping it like it's hot. Nature Boy is not about mingling, intermingling, getting to know the people and their culture, their language, their conditions, fighting for their causes or seeing their causes as his own. He's only looking for another another fake jungle, another Airbnb. They're gonna see this dude as money. They're gonna look at him as money, and then they're gonna take it. All right. So that's all I wanted to say here. I don't know if the dude is serious or not about going to Africa. I'm not watching his channel. I'm not following any of his immortals or immoral people. But this is just a message if they are going to Africa, which would be making it even more difficult to quote unquote leave Babylon, which they are saying is the United States or all of the continents of America or that continent of America. All right? Continents. South America, North America, Central America. They're actually trying to go all the way to Africa. So now the message is what? Leave Babylon. Is it go between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn still? Are they going to limit parts of Africa so that they are between the Tropics of Cancer and Capricorn? They're probably going to change their message all around. They're probably going to start calling themselves African Nation. Because, as you all know, one thing that never stays consistent is their message. One thing that never stays consistent are their outfits. One thing that never stays consistent are their names. One thing that never stays consistent is what it is, y'all. Whether or not they got the money to go there, I don't doubt that they got it. You know, I mean, remember we've got to think about one-way tickets. Maybe they're buying one-way tickets, and we don't know where they're going. I would suggest that an LGBTQ type of people like that would go to South Africa, but you know, even there, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. They're mentally, physically, and spiritually unstable, and they dare to say that they're ready for Mama Africa now. What 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 are they? What do they think of Mama Africa? They must have such a low opinion by claiming that they're now ready. Is Mama Africa ready? Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's funny. I think it's hilarious, and we got to let them go. You know, this dude has a beady beard, says Sarada, the indigenous soul. They're all unstable. They're bringing more instability to Africa, more instability in their lives, more instability in their in their Wi-Fi connections. And now Jamaican Girl also says he ran through all of Central America. So what's the next country in line? Colombia? He's not going there. He's afraid of the cartels. They may be in Panama now, and they may actually be going somewhere in Africa. And I think that that's interesting. That's all. They are bringing their LGBTQ talents to South Africa, maybe, where immoral Zion can wax poetic with her Dutch and feel European all over again, which is what they love doing. Khalila Bilal says, he better kill those videos where he said he was God before he goes there, because if any of the people there see that video, he's done. It's not like the United States where anybody could be Jesus or Muhammad. Yeah, well, again, hey, it all depends. You got plenty of people who parade a white Jesus all through their church in portions of Africa. You have people who, but you have people who even proclaim to be Jesus who happen to be white, and you got a gang of Africans huddling around them, damn near believing them. Right? All I got to do is Google what? Check this out. Right? I wanna just Google that, see what comes up. This is 2019, and it says, while many African Christians can only imagine a white Jesus, wow, is that true? Others have actively promoted a vision of a brown or black Jesus. In 2019, it's about time. Nigeria unveils Africa's biggest Jesus statue. Well, let's see what that looks like. Let's see if it looks like Nature Boy. Man, I don't feel like updating my app. Man, I'll update that shit later, bro. I'll update all that later, bro. White man acts like Jesus in Africa. Let's see what pops up. They even have a United States pastor accused of being a Jesus imposter. Let's see how that goes. Asafahima. You're going to live long, Asafahima. This is Fox News flash headline. U.S. pastor accused of being a Jesus imposter after visit to Africa goes viral. Right? It was depicted as a Jesus Visits Kenya event. Man with long, flowing, blonde hair, right? A goatee and wearing a white robe emerged on a stage as thousands of Kenyans cheered. You have Kenyans cheering. But what was supposed to be an American pastor pretending to be Jesus ended up stirring controversy in AFRIKA, where the clergyman was accused of being an imposter and a fake, something we all know Nature Boy to be. Some people claim the event was trumpeted as a return of Christ, something that Nature Boy claimed he is. Michael Job, right, interesting last name, an ordained minister who runs Jesus Loves You Evangelistic Ministries in Florida, said on Facebook, said he was in Kenya for a 9-day crusade where many people were saved and healed. He said he is still in Kenya preaching in the schools. Wow. Hey guys, just to let you know, there's been many false fake news reports here in Kenya about me. I just did 9 whole days of crusades in Ongararongi and Kitilingi and Kisiria King, where many people were saved and healed. I dressed up as Jesus during these crusades. My awesome friends and I performed many plays focusing on the life of Christ, a life that they are totally clueless about. Some people, known as internet trolls, have made false reports about me, claiming to be Jesus' second coming. My question is, why were these people celebrating and applauding? A Kenyan pastor claims he has found Jesus Christ walking on the streets of Kenya, took the white man to his church, gave him a warm welcome, and now his church followers are happy that Jesus has finally come back. So that may be something that Nature Boy may confront as a major problem, that many people in Africa will never see him as Jesus because he is not white. Oh, they will not see him as Jesus because he is not white. Oh, which is a double sadness, right? At no point are they saying his name ain't even Jesus. At no point are they reminding us he's got a whole different name. Yeah, maybe I will. Right? Organizers have insisted they never meant to try and fool anyone. This guy never claimed to be Jesus, unlike Nature Boy. Right? So we have so many interesting things, interesting angles to look at this. And again, I'll make sure that I have a minute-by-minute breakdown of things that we covered here in the video. But if Nature Boy is going to Africa, I hope he has zero expectations other than the fact that his reputation will precede him. A lot of them are well aware of his homosexual things, his homosexual nature, the fact that he's bragging on Soneta's channel, a channel that has hit all around Africa before, and they have fans all over Africa, Sonetta and all that. He's on Sonetta telling Sonetta's worldwide audience that there's a pleasure spot in the butt. So, of course, Nature Boy is delusional. Everything about him is delusional, including the impact of his message, the importance of his message, and of course, the authenticity of his message. There's nothing real. There's everything fake, and he's a spiritual fuckboy, and he's still a gay escort trying to gaily escort carbonation to Africa, right? Collecting the African elite, I guess, and convicting the African weak, I guess. I don't know. It's tough to know anything about this dude, Nature Boy. Some of you thought he was straight when you first saw him. That should tell you right now. He's the perfect demon. Because what you think he is, he ain't. You think he's a man, nah. You think he's straight, nah. You think he got couth, you think he's got some sort of a code, nah. He's a chatty patty, and he doesn't think before he speaks. Alright? You're talking about a dude who is battling middle age, who's scared at the end of the day. A guy who talks tough, but he's really a bottom bitch. So, so listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is 50 minutes, my lunchtime we spent here on this. I wanted to thank you all for stopping by. Again, press rewind, because at the beginning I do like a little parody where I act like I am Mama Africa, who has just heard the news that Nature Boy and his LGBTQ nation has decided to go to Africa, and also has decided to make a video either warning Africa or calling out to Africans for their resources to house them. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eye out on these. Keep your eye out on these fake fools, these frauds, these charlatans, because now they seem to want to bamboozle Africa. Good luck with that. Africa can't say I didn't warn you. Eh? You still got indigenous religions in Ghana. Maybe they will get into some of the indigenous religion, because we all know they are all still Babylon in their heads, okay? These people are all still Babylon in their heads, trying to act otherwise. And Sarada says, I came for your voice. Message is always so eloquent and on point. Have a beautiful evening. Well, thank you, the indigenous soul. Thank you very much. Glad to hear that I can use my voice to illuminate and to bring light to certain issues in the communities. And please remember, go ahead and replay this a couple times. Share it to your people who have just heard that this cult led by a 10-year gay escort has decided that it's now ready for Mama Africa. Wow. Dude was never ready to be a guru, and he decided to be a guru. Dude was never ready to be a father, and he went ahead and just jumped into fatherhood, I guess. No, he never jumped into fatherhood, but he impregnated people. Again, this is a dude that loves putting the cart before the horse. This is a dude that talks a good game more than what he really is, and he's got stupid people helping him. Stupid people like Stephanie, Mama Willow, and these dudes that look like a cracked out homosexual vegan version of Kodak Black with that haircut they got, trying to act like those are some Ubuntu nuts. No, man. But anyway, it's all fun and games until somebody get knocked out. But we'll see what happens, y'all. You know, we don't want to discourage people from going. I'm not trying to discourage carbonation. I think they should go. I think more women, if they dumb enough, if they lonely enough, if they spoiled enough, if they stupid enough, you know, if they hate themselves enough, go ahead on and visit Nature Boy. Stay there if you want, you know. I really don't care. But shout out to everybody on IG that's trying to let Nature Boy know this is not the best decision to make. Shout out to Grand. Shout out to Don't Try to Be Petty or whatever that's called. But this has been your boy Marwan of Mind Over Matter TV. And one love, my people, for real, y'all. Peace out.